got another good tip for you guys today, and it's on noises in the front end that sound like a belt chirp, but it's actually the cam synchronizer. And this is a 3.8 liter Mustang, and the 3.0 liter Vulcan engines have the same design that's in the Rangers and the Taurus, obviously. And it sounds just like a belt chirp, and this one's even worse because the synchro is right here, which is right next to all the accessory drive components here and the belt and all that. On the Taurus, at least it's on the backside, but you'll hear a general noise in the engine compartment from the engine, and you'll think it's the front end accessory drive belt, the serpentine belt. So this one, like I said, is right here, right next to it, and this customer actually, before they brought it into us, they started changing all kinds of components in this area. And this is why I want to get this tip out there, because when these start failing initially, the actual bushing in there, it sounds more like a belt chirp, whereas now it's so far gone, it's almost like a bad grind chirp. It's more pronounced, I guess you could say. It's not a cute little belt chirp. So they started changing the idler pulley here. That's been changed, and then they changed the belt out, and then they changed the water pump out. And in the meantime, they broke this pipe, so they had to change that. And then they put the water pump on. That was a mess, so it was leaking all over the place. They brought it to me, and I put it on there correctly. And I started asking, why are they changing all these things up here? And it was told me later on that they were changing it all to get rid of this belt chirp. And it was right in this area. And it's easy to misdiagnose unless you know what you're talking about. And that's why I'm trying to get this information out there, so you can go right to the source of the noise, because it sounds so much like a belt chirp, you're just dead set in your head that it's a belt chirp. And I'm going to start it here in a second and let you hear it. Unfortunately, they're not going to fix it on this particular car, so I will not be able to do a repair video on the cam synchronizer right here. But in the future, I'm sure I'll be changing them, at least on the Taurus, because they're very common on the Taurus 12 valve. So we're going to go ahead and start it here. I'll let you listen just what I'm talking about. Now this one you could hear it sounds even worse. Sounds like that metal-to-metal type noise more than when they're quieter and they start to fail. It's more of a light chirp, which could be, you know, a rubber belt against a smooth pulley like this. It can definitely make that noise, and it's right in this area. And it'll be intermittent like that, just like a belt also. Now the one other thing I wanted to mention, especially on the 3.0 liter Tauruses, you may not hear this noise until the engine's fully warmed up. And those really get nice and warm, it seems, at that point, on the Tauruses especially. That noise will be a lot more consistent and pronounced. So it'll sound like a hot idle bell chirp type deal on the Tauruses. And I'm sure it's the same for this one. Now the one piece of information I can give you is that if you're having a noise, especially in a 3.8 like this, and it's right here in the dry belt area, all you gotta do is turn the engine off, obviously, make sure it's nice and cool so you don't burn yourself, and actually release the tension on the belt and take the belt off and put it to the side. Then you can start the engine and you can let it run for 30 seconds to a minute, as long as it's not fully warmed up already, and it'll be just fine without a cooling flow. And you'd be able to tell instantly, like this one was a cold start, and within 10-15 seconds we start hearing that chirp from this area. And with that belt off, you eliminate the water pump, all your pulleys, everything. You're eliminating everything that's spinning because nothing's spinning anymore except for the actual crank pulley. So at that point you would still hear it, and you would eliminate the idler they changed, the water pump they changed, the alternator bearings, everything. You would eliminate everything by a 2-minute belt removal. So that's about it. I just wanted to get it out there and give you a few tips on locating it. Obviously you're going to want to get a stethoscope or a long flat blade screwdriver and start trying to listen where the noise is coming from. And the first place I would go is the base of that synchronizer. And obviously they are still being misdiagnosed, even to this day, with being a common knowledge type deal if you don't know what you're looking for. So I just wanted to get it out there and help you guys out.